Okay, if Gary, you would like to introduce yourself.
Yes, I'll do this very briefly. I'm the Managing Director of CNT Associates. We are a business support and fundraising organisation based in Bexley, but we work well throughout London and other parts of the UK too. If you look at our website there, it details all the areas of work that we're currently involved in, and we'll be only too glad to help you if we can. Okay, back to you, Sybil.
And my name is Sybil Mayard, and I'm working together with CNT to help deliver the business support program and these webinars. And since I've started my business, I've worked with a wide range of small businesses from a variety of different sectors, including consultancies, e-commerce businesses, and well-being organizations, and so on, helping them to improve their online presence through better web design. So our outline for the workshop today is introductions, doing your research, websites and SEO, which is search engine optimization, blogging, social media, email marketing, Google business profile and local directories, video marketing, PPC, which is pay-per-click advertising, how to develop a digital marketing strategy, some offline marketing methods, and then we'll have some time for questions and answers. So if you haven't done this already, it's essential that you do your research right now before even thinking about your marketing. So you need to be very clear about
being recorded.
You need to be very clear about who your target market is. So when you're defining this, there's certain things you need to be looking at, and here are a few of them. So what is the age group you're targeting? Gender, geographical location, so where are they based? Their education levels, occupation, so what is their job? Have they retired, etc.? Are they a business owner? Do they have a family? What sort of income they have? What are their interests? What are their spending habits? What are the pain points they're experiencing? How your product solves their problem? And what sort of platforms you might find them on. So knowing all these things is really going to help you to define your products and services, and also it will determine what kind of methods you will be using for your marketing. And in this presentation, we're going to talk about the different methods that you can use to promote your products and services. So having a web design background, naturally, I'd want to start with talking about developing a website. So nearly everyone is online nowadays. There's a huge number of people searching on Google and other search engines every day for products and services. So it's almost essential that you have a website in place. So if you're thinking about building a website, you need to consider things like how much time you have to build it, if you're going to develop it yourself. What is your budget? Do you have the skills to build a website, or will you hire someone else to do it? What are your requirements? What is the purpose of this website? Is it just to showcase your services? Is it to sell products? Is it just to get inquiries? Because that's very important that you're clear on why you want to have a website. You'd need to plan out the requirements. So what's going to be on this site? What are the pages you need? Content such as text and images, maybe videos. Any features you want on there, like a blog or maybe a photo gallery, any specific functionalities you want to have, like a newsletter sign-up form, e-commerce, a contact form or chatbot, or etc. It is possible to start with a free website, and we'll talk about how to do that in a second. Using a website builder is the quickest way to get started, and we will cover a few different ones in this presentation. So the first platform we have here is Wix, which you may have heard of. It's very popular because you can start by developing a website for free using it. You don't need to get any hosting because Wix will provide the hosting for you, so you can start straight away. If you need additional features, then you can use apps from the Wix app market. The platform doesn't require any maintenance because all of the software upgrades, etc., are done for you. You can use Wix to build an e-commerce store. But to access any advanced features like removing the ads, connecting a domain, or taking payments online, then you must upgrade to a paid plan. Next platform is WordPress. I've put up there wordpress.org because there are actually two types. There's wordpress.com, which is not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the self-hosted version. So WordPress is one of the most popular platforms out there for building websites because it's very powerful, customizable, and flexible. So one of the reasons why it's very flexible is because you have access to a vast range of themes and plugins to enhance the functionality of your site, and many of these are free. So you can build almost anything using WordPress. If you want to build in e-commerce functionality into your WordPress site, then you can use a plugin called WooCommerce, which is also free. The WordPress software itself is free as well, but you do need to set up your hosting and register a domain before you can start using it. And one of the things about WordPress that could be a disadvantage is that you do need to keep it maintained on a regular basis. So you need to go into your admin to update your themes, plugins, WordPress files, and make backups of your site to prevent any loss of data. Because it is possible that your website could go down or have an error, so you need to keep copies of your site. But having said that, the advantages of WordPress far outweigh the disadvantages. So I still highly recommend WordPress if you're thinking about developing a website. And thirdly, we're talking about Shopify. So if you're an e-commerce business, you may want to consider using Shopify. It's a very popular platform which powers millions of merchants around the world. You can sell an unlimited number of products on your Shopify store. Themes are highly customizable without the need for editing any code. And if you need more features, you can find apps from the Shopify App Store. Now, to give you an idea of costs, the basic Shopify plan usually costs $25 per month. But right now, there's a special offer where you can get it for only £1 a month for the first 3 months. So you may want to take advantage of that. Or if you contact us, we can set up an unlimited trial store for you. So what this means is you will have a trial version of this store which you can use to explore and experiment with the platform without any time limits on it. And you won't need to pay any monthly fees until you decide to launch your store and go live. And finally, another advantage of Shopify is you have 24/7 access to the support team via chat, email, and the community forums. So there's always help available to you. So we've covered 3 website builders there. Of course, there are many more available on the market today. So I recommend doing some research, maybe comparing 2 or 3 of the platforms, comparing the features with your requirements, so you can think about which platform might be the most suitable for you. So moving on to SEO, or search engine optimization. And you may have heard of this term, and it's all about getting your website to rank higher in search engine results. So every day there are literally billions of searches being made on Google and other search engines. But there are so many websites as well. And when people are searching for a product or service that you're selling, you want your search to be as high up in the results as possible. So it's no good your website being on page 10, for example, because no one ever looks at page 10. We want it to be on page 1, ideally. So there's a few things you can do in order to improve your website's SEO. And SEO is organic. That means it doesn't use paid advertising, and it doesn't cost you anything to do SEO unless you're hiring someone to do the tasks for you. So here is a very brief summary. There's a lot more to SEO than this, but here's a good start. So you need to make a list of keywords. So keywords are the words and phrases that people might type into a search engine in order for your website to be displayed in the results. You need to put these keywords into various places on your site, such as page titles, meta descriptions, and alt tags, as well as throughout the content, like in your blog posts or throughout your pages. But you don't want to overdo it, so don't repeat your keywords too many times. That's known as keyword stuffing, and that will be penalized by Google. So you want to make sure that your content and your text sounds natural to human readers. Fix any broken links. So if you've ever clicked on a link and you've got an error saying page not found, that's a broken link. So you need to fix any of these by either removing them or making sure the links are pointing to the right pages. Your website should have a logical structure so your customers can easily find what they're looking for. It needs to load fast. Search engines like fast websites, and also your customers do as well. If they find that your website is too slow, they will go to a competitor's site. Good user experience. So as I say, customers can easily navigate the site. There's no like annoying pop-ups, for example. Everything is well organized and responsive. So by this, I mean that your website needs to work very well on different devices, desktop, as well as smartphones and tablets and laptops. Submit your site to Google Search Console. So this is a free tool provided by Google, which helps you to track the performance of your website in search. So looking at the data will help you to make improvements, and that will get your website to appear more frequently in search results and to get more clicks on your website. Ensure that your site has an SSL certificate. So this means that your web address should begin with HTTPS. If it doesn't, then you usually get a warning message on the browser that the site is not secure. So make sure you have that in place. Add new content to your website on a regular basis, because search engines like websites that are being updated frequently. So it's no good just posting once and leaving it for 6 months. You do need to do this on a regular basis, maybe around every 2 weeks or so, but whatever works for you, as long as it's consistent. And then lastly, a technique called backlinking. So backlink is a link from another website that links to your site. So you can ask customers, clients, partners, ask website owners to link from their site to yours. The more links you have pointing to your website, the more authority your website has, which helps your search engine rankings. But of course, you want reputable sites to be linking to yours, so make sure you don't have any spammy sites that are linking to your website, because that can hurt your SEO. Okay, moving on to blogging. So blogging is a good way to demonstrate that you're an expert in your field. Maintaining a blog keeps your audience informed and engaged, because you're giving them fresh content to engage with on a regular basis. If you post your blogs on your website, then that will really help to improve its SEO. Although there's other means, other platforms where you can add blogs as well, like social media sites, which is another way of improving your blogging presence. All of the website builders that we mentioned previously offer a blogging feature. You have to remember that it is a long-term process, so you can't post one blog and expect to get a lot of traffic on your website immediately. It's something that does take time to build up. So over a period of time, you will see increased engagement with your website, and hopefully an increase in traffic. Very important, your content needs to be relevant. So depending on what your business is, you need to post content which is relevant to your customers. So think about what sorts of questions your customers might ask, and answer those questions, what kind of topics they're interested, what kind of information they might be looking for when they come to your site. And we recommend to publish a blog around every 2 weeks, if that's reasonable for you. Even once a month. But the main thing here is to be consistent with it. So try to maintain consistency and a frequency that works for you. Now, moving on to social media. I think we're all very familiar with this term. It's a very effective and inexpensive way to market your business. Unless you're paying for ads, then social media is totally free to use. It's a great way to engage directly with your followers. But like blogging, it is a long-term strategy, so it will take time to build up a following and to start to get more engagement on your posts. And it's good to have a plan for your content. So developing a content calendar is a good way to plan out what you're going to post and when. And again, make sure you do it regularly. There's a wide range of social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, which used to be called Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, Pinterest, and the list goes on. And each of these platforms has its own characteristics, different types of users that use these platforms. So when you're thinking about your marketing strategy, choose the platforms where you think your audience is going to be on. And there's no point in using a platform where your target audience isn't on. So again, do some research, maybe choose 2 to 3 maximum. You don't want to be on too many, because the more platforms you use, the more time consuming it will become. Then I've also added Nextdoor. So this is a kind of social media platform, but it's good for local businesses. So you can engage with people in your local area. It's quite a simple platform. It doesn't have so many features like reels, stories like some of the other social media platforms have. So it's quite easy to get started with. And basically you can have a business profile on there. You can post updates about your business for free. So you can post blogs, events, and you can also post ads as well. And the ads you have to pay for. But yeah, it's a good way to, I'd recommend to try it if you are looking to build that local presence. Now, the challenge with social media is that algorithms are constantly changing. So you need to experiment with different strategies and find out what works best for you. And by different strategies, I mean things like types of posts, so videos, images, carousels, stories, reels. Try a range of different types, posting at different times of the day as well. And what's going to help you get these right is by looking at your analytics to understand how your posts are performing. So after you've posted, you'll be able to see how many followers or non-followers saw your posts, how many likes, comments, etc. that you're getting. And one thing that you can do to help manage your social media posts is to use a scheduling tool. So if you struggle with posting on a regular basis, then you might want to have a few posts which have already been written out, and you can use a tool which will post these automatically at specific times. A couple of examples here. There's Meta Business Suite, which is a Facebook tool, and it works with Facebook and Instagram. I believe there's no limit on how many posts that you can schedule in advance. And there's Buffer. On a free plan, you can connect up to 3 channels. So by channels, we mean 3 platforms. And you can schedule up to 10 posts per channel at any one time. So there are other options out there, like there's one called Later, for example, but I've found that currently Buffer gives the best value on the free option. There's Hootsuite as well, which used to be free, but they've removed their free plan entirely now. So yeah, I recommend looking at Buffer if you're thinking about doing scheduled posts. Okay, so let's move on to email marketing. So this is another powerful marketing tool you can use for keeping your customers engaged. Unlike social media, which is quite fast-paced, it's all about quick updates. Email marketing, it's about longer content. So you might want to be sending out newsletters, information about offers, competitions, launching a new product or service, and you would usually do it on a less frequent basis, so maybe about every 2 weeks or maybe once a month or even less frequently than that. So when you're sending out your email marketing campaigns, there's some metrics that you would need to look at to understand how your campaigns are performing, and I've listed a few of them here. So open rate is the number of emails that people have opened versus how many you've sent out. The click-through rate is how many clicks you're getting on your emails. Bounce rate is the number of emails that bounced that couldn't be delivered. Maybe it's because you've had an incorrect email address that you're trying to send to. So any email addresses that bounce should really be removed from your platform. And unsubscribe rate, which is how many people unsubscribe from your mailing list. So monitoring these things whenever you send out a campaign will help you to optimize your emails, so that hopefully you can improve your metrics. There's a few different options for email marketing platforms. So I've listed a few of them here. These all have a free plan. There's MailChimp, which is probably the most popular one, but can be a bit difficult to navigate, especially if you're just starting. So an alternative is MailerLite. I find that the user interface is much simpler to use. And there's also HubSpot. HubSpot is a very big tool, so it does much more than just email marketing. So if you are looking for other tools, for example, live chat and others, then you might want to look at HubSpot. And when you're gathering email addresses, you need to be quite careful with GDPR requirements. If you have a newsletter sign-up form on your website, then you would need to include a tick box, and a tick box mustn't be already ticked. So the person who's subscribing would need to tick the box themselves to say they consent to giving their email address. And you should also include a link to your privacy policy near the form. So always make sure that you've got the permission to send out marketing communications. Okay, so let's talk about Google Business Profile. This used to be called Google My Business. So this is a free tool which you can use to create a kind of a profile for your business on Google. And here is the link if you want to sign up. So it shows all the information about your business when people type your business name into search engines. What a good thing about this is you can display your reviews. So when you go in to set this up, there'll be a link which you can copy and send to your customers. When they click that link, it will take them directly to a box where they can type in their reviews. So very simple. Reviews are important because it shows that you are that you've built up that trust with your customers. And it's a good idea to respond to all reviews because it shows that you are listening to your customers' feedback, whether that is good or bad feedback that you're getting. And when you're filling out your business profile, make sure to enter as much information as you can about your business. So things like contact information, opening hours, you can add a booking link into there if you have one, FAQs, etc. And it even has an updates feature, which is a bit like a mini blog where you can add some quick updates about news about your business. And it's a good idea to do this also because it can help with your search engine optimization as well. So there are other local directories which you can sign up to. A local directory is a list of businesses which enables users to find companies within a specific geographic region. And it's a good idea to list your business in local online directories because they can also help improve your website's SEO. That's because when you create a new citation, you're creating a backlink to your website. And we talked about backlinks earlier on. So here are a few examples of local directories. There's Bark, Yelp, Yell.com, and all of these have a free option. So depending on your business, you might want to try out some of these. Okay, talking about video marketing. Now, this is going to depend on the nature of your business because video marketing might not be appropriate to what you do, but especially if you're a product-based business, it's a good idea to create videos showcasing your products so people can really see what your products are about, features, how to use them, and so on. So if you're planning on creating some videos, here are a few ideas of what you can create. So tutorials or how-to videos. You can deliver webinars, record them and upload them to YouTube, which is what we do here at CNT very often. Unboxing videos, so unboxing a new product and showing the main features of how it works. You can create free courses, new product launches, and there are also YouTube Shorts. So this is a fairly new feature of YouTube where you can upload videos up to 1 minute long and they will be automatically categorized as a short. So mentioned YouTube because it's the most popular video hosting platform. There are others like Vimeo, but it's much more limited unless you go for a paid plan. And of course, you can always upload your videos to your social media platform or to your website as well. Now, talking about paid advertising, so all of the methods we've talked about so far, well, you can do for free or at a very low cost. PPC advertising, which is pay-per-click, is a way of paying to advertise your business. So PPC is a model of digital advertising where the advertiser, i.e. yourself, would pay a fee each time one of your ads is clicked. So unlike other methods like SEO, for example, which take time to generate leads and traffic, paid advertising is a fast way to gain visitors to your website and increase conversions, but they can be expensive. So you need to define your budget. So how much are you prepared to spend on paid advertising? Is something you need to consider. So where you can run paid ads, so you can do this on search engines like Google or Bing, and also on social media platforms. You need to advertise on the platforms that your audience is using. So like we talked about earlier, it's important that you are targeting the right people. Otherwise, you'll end up spending money on ads. You might find that people are clicking on them, but not actually buying from you, which will just cost you money. So you need to be really specific on where you are placing these ads. So you've got the highest chance that you will make sales from your advertising efforts. And what you want to do is to keep monitoring the performance of your campaigns so you can make adjustments and improvements. And that's important because, as we say, ads cost you money. So you want to be making sure that you are spending money in the right places. So look at your analytics, understand what's working and what isn't, so that you can optimize your ad campaigns. Okay, so I'm now hand over briefly to Gary, who will talk about the digital marketing template that we're offering.
Yes, this is just a brief interlude. If you join the Talking Business program in Bexley, this is one of the things that we are offering you as part of the program. This is free. This is a digital marketing strategy. This is a document that Sybil has developed specially for this program. And if you've not signed up to the program for Bexley, there is the link to register. And once you've registered, you will be able to join the program and take advantage of a whole range of opportunities, including 6 hours of dedicated business support, access to a lot of tools and resources, including these webinars, and also help to develop a specific outcome for your business, like a digital marketing strategy or a fundraising strategy, or a business plan using business model Canvas as a model, or getting your business online, or a whole number of other support aspects of the program, and of course our advice and expertise, which goes back over 20 years between us. If you're not based in Bexley, we can still provide support, but you will need to contact us because we charge for support outside of this particular program. So if you're interested in either of those, if you're interested in joining the program, then please use that link or contact us directly for the link. Otherwise, email us for a quote as to how we can help you. Okay, I'll back to you, Sybil.
Thanks, Gary. So when you're developing your digital marketing strategy, the template that we provide is a kind of audit. So you'll be able to analyze your current strategy, what you're currently doing with the different marketing methods, and what you need to do moving forwards. Now, on the template, we list the different methods. Not all of them will be applicable to you. So you need to analyze these and really think about which methods are suitable and which are not. And there's also an action plan at the end of it on page 3. So this is where you will list out your the points, the actions you're going to take, when you will do them, and how much they will cost. So putting this all together will help you to develop an effective marketing plan for your business. Now, our presentation was primarily about digital marketing, but I just wanted to briefly mention other marketing methods that you can do offline. So I think this is also helpful to know. So I've put a list here of other things you can do to promote your business. So you can create flyers, posters, and give them out to people to distribute. Create business cards, which are particularly effective during networking events. You can advertise in newspapers. Word of mouth, which is always a very powerful method. Tell as many people as you can what you do, what your business is, and they will tell others. They will tell their friends, colleagues, family members, and so on. In-person networking events, always very effective, I find, can be more productive than online events. But again, probably depends on what kind of business you're running. If you are an artist, for example, you might want to sell your product at markets or pop-up shops. Also applicable if you're selling any other physical products, jewelry, clothing, for example. You can create a discount and loyalty cards, and there's also referral programs as well that you can utilize. Okay, so we're coming towards the end of our presentation today, so I hand over to Gary again for questions and answers.
Okay, thank you. There's been a couple of things already mentioned in the chat. If you just bear with me, I'm just going to go back a little bit for a second. Somebody asked about what email marketing newsletter sign up. What was the second thing we need to ensure? One being ensure that there is an unticked box.
Yes, so it's also having the link to your privacy policy near the sign up form. Yeah, so I see that Kat has responded as well. So thank you for that, Kat.
Yeah, Kat asked about the charging if you're not in Bexley. If you email us giving us some information about your business and your requirements for digital marketing, we'll try and quote back to you on that. The other thing that you should try, as I mentioned right at the beginning, is to look at your local authority's website and see if the UK Shared Prosperity Fund programme is operating in your area, which it's likely to be. For example, it's not started yet properly in Greenwich, but it will be soon. The Bromley programme was launched yesterday, and other boroughs outside London, if you're from outside London, are also operating too. It's usually on business support, but all local authority websites are different. So it does depend where you are and what your needs are. Or as I said in the chat, you can contact us and we will quote you to provide a service. The other thing is, of course, we've got quite a wide network. So if there's some very specialist support you need that we don't provide, we may be able to refer you to somebody else who does provide that service. Are there any more questions from people?
Sorry, Gary, I'm just reading through the chat now in more detail, and I see that Minaha has asked some other questions. So
okay, you take those, yeah.
how do you present that on the newsletter sign-up form? So this is again talking about the privacy policy link. So I would usually have a couple of lines on the form. So your form should allow you to add some text to it. It should be customizable, and you can add something like, by signing up, you agree to receive marketing emails from us. Your data will be processed in accordance to our privacy policy, and you would add a link there to the policy. You can unsubscribe at any time. So something along those lines. So it's making it clear to the subscriber what they are consenting to when they sign up. And also the question on cookies. Cookies are an essential feature of websites, and without cookies, and websites wouldn't be able to function or provide certain functionalities. So in your privacy policy, you should have a section that explains what cookies your website is using, so that you're covered for that. Hopefully that answers the questions.
Yeah, we've had another couple. One off the top of your heads, are there any digital marketing campaigns, adverts that have really stuck out to you both? That's a very good question. Any response to that, Sybil?
Probably, yeah. I sometimes see ads on maybe on Instagram, LinkedIn, or other social media platforms that kind of stand out to me. But right now, I can't actually think of one particular one. But yeah, that's a good question. Have to get back to you on that.
Yeah, I was going to say there are a number that I've seen, but it depends what sector you're in. This is one of the issues with digital marketing. This is general advice, but people operate in different sectors. I've seen some interesting ones in well-being, for example. I was looking at one the other day where there's a woman who provided a range of well-being support for people, and then the the ad was illustrated with examples of the people concerned and how they were affected, basically. And I thought that was very effective, because it's not just somebody telling you about this, they're actually evidencing it and illustrating this, and it was done over a period of time using different case studies, and all in less than a minute. That was obviously very well put together. Using stories generally works, but it as I say, it depends in what sector that you're in, and whether it could be a personal story about your business, or it could be a story about your clients, or both even. So there's a lot of caveats around that, but yeah, I would say that was a very good one. Kat has said, anything with a really strong call to action that makes you stop and take action. I'm a sucker for adverts that show before and after impact of a product, showing real people, which is just, I didn't read that. I've literally just read it now. So yes, I think we're both agreed on that. The use of stories in advertising or marketing is always a very powerful tool, and the strategies in the market for this are constantly changing. So you've got to evolve your strategies. That's one of the reasons why we produce a kind of a strategy tool, because what works now may not work in 6 months' time. The other thing that is affecting everything, of course, is the issue of artificial intelligence, and its impact in a whole host of areas, which is only just beginning, but it will certainly affect digital marketing in due course. One of my clients told me that they had used AI to develop a series of digital marketing emails by asking ChatGPT to formulate or reformulate existing emails, and they said that was very effective. They also used it on developing Facebook ads as well, by asking ChatGPT to rewrite the content they had provided. So that's an area. This program lasts for another year. Later this year, we're probably going to do some work around that, but one of our associates is doing considerable work in this area, but we're being quite cautious at the moment, because it's going to have a big effect. But we also feel as well that sometimes it's kind of overhyped, but I think this is a discussion for another day. But if you can think of any other, Sybil, any marketing campaigns you've seen recently. I can see Sybil is deep in thought there, but that's something we'll take into account for this webinar in future, I think. But say we're kind of reluctant to show examples of something that works exactly, because what works now, by the time we're redoing this in 3 or 6 months time, may not. So that's why we're looking at it in this way. Any other questions from people? Okay, we're coming up to the last 2 minutes of this. I'd like to say something about the next funding panel.
Sorry, Gary, we have questions from Kat and Ruth, who are asking for ballpark fees for outsourcing digital marketing and setting up of a website.
Do you want to have a look at respond to that one, Sybil?
Yeah, so this really depends on your requirements. For the digital marketing, we will need to, because we have other partners we work with who deliver digital marketing, so we don't offer that service ourselves. So we would need to confirm with them in terms of pricing. For setting up of a website, again, this really depends on what you're looking for, because you might want just a one-page site, or you might want a whole e-commerce site developed with all of your products. So if you'd like to get in touch with us and we can discuss this further with you, I think that would be the best way. Then we're able to talk to you and give you more accurate pricing on that.
Okay, thank you, Sybil. Any other questions from people? Go back into the chat. The next presentation in this series, because it's part of a series we've run, I think this is the 4th one, so there's another 6 to go, is called the funding panel on the 22nd of February. What that is, it'd be myself and some other people who are either experienced fundraisers or review applications for funding. And you will be able to, the format will be slightly different in that we'll do brief overviews, and then we will take questions from people either live on screen or in the chat, or indeed if people want to submit them in advance. And we will also look at some other related issues in fundraising as well. Again, this is free to anyone who wishes to attend. It's part of the Talking Business program in Bexley. That's it. It's specifically aimed at people from that group, but others can attend. And again, there will be some resources allied to that, although any particular support will outside Bexley may be chargeable. But thank you all for joining us today. It's been good to see you all here. I hope to see you again. And there are details for contacting us. Also, you've got our YouTube channel, and that has got a lot of content in. We've got over 30 presentations. This will go on the site in due course once we've edited it a little bit. I'll just hand over back to Sybil for any other questions or responses. Do you want to say anything before we end, Sybil? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, just to recap on what we talked about already, we talked about the different marketing or digital marketing methods that are available, and it's really important to know who you're targeting. So make sure you're very clear on exactly who is the ideal customer that you want to promote your products and services to, and think about the different methods we've talked about and which of those would be most suitable for your business. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add.
Okay, thank you for that, Sybil. And once more, thank you all for joining us today. We'll be sending emails. Well, there's emails already out there with the link in case you want to join us on the 22nd of February for the funding panel, where you can ask questions to both fundraisers and people who review funding applications as well. So I hope to see all of you at that one too. So thank you very much for supporting us today.